Now sport, and to start, the FA Cup semi-finals. Here's Gerald Sinstadt.
Everton and Norwich City played at Villa Park, Birmingham in glorious sunshine. And with East Anglian support very strong, Norwich was soon attacking the Everton goal. The commentator is Barry Davis.
Bowen, that's a good run by Crook. Putney, Rosario is in the middle. Up comes Dale Gordon. Oh, he struck it well. Fine strike, and he thought it was worth the corner, but he's not to get it. They've got caught a bit. Gordon had quite a distance to make. Sheedy was the player who came across. There was only one option, and I must say, I think Dale Gordon is right that he should have got a corner. Seemed to me to get two deflections, the first off Sheedy, the second off Southall. Butterworth. Sheedy. And he looked up and saw Quaddy going one way and Sharp the other. It's an Everton throw. Bracewell. Oh! It was Crook! And it stays out. Now it's in. Pat Nevin getting the congratulations. Crook looked in horror, thought for a moment he'd escaped, but the little fellow was there, and among a few whirling legs, he managed to get the one which counted. Goalkeeper going one way, back off the angle. Sharp comes again off Crook. Bowen comes off the back line, and it's Nevin who has scored for Everton. 20 minutes gone, 25 minutes left. Everton 1, Norwich 0. Rosario winning in the air again, but there's always cover behind. Bowen. It's well up by Ratcliffe. Acrobatic attempt by Malcolm Allen. Sheedy. Cutty! Good stop. Met it very solidly, Tony Cutty. That's nice. Instant pass, there haven't been too many of those. Fox got to find the right cross. Rosario, Crook!
Crook's attempt to make amends for his earlier mistake goes wide, and Colin Harvey's Everton go to Wembley. Whom would they play? Liverpool and Nottingham Forest took the field at a less than full Old Trafford. In the stand, Brian Clough, the Forest boss, who's never been to Wembley in the FA Cup, either as a player or manager. Would this be the first time? Kenny Dalglish and Liverpool were determined he shouldn't make it. Trevor Brooking was in the commentary box with John Motson as we joined play a couple of minutes into the first half. Liverpool in their familiar red strip.
Houghton for Liverpool. Pearce. The two sequences of the two sides are quite outstanding. Liverpool unbeaten in 20 matches since New Year's Day when they lost here to Manchester United. Nottingham Forest have won 23 of their last 28 games and lost only 2 since they were beaten at Old Trafford on Boxing Day. So we have got two sides here with a prolific run of form. This is Staunton. Steve Staunton, 20-year-old left-back for Liverpool. Big occasion for him, did well. Hansen. Hansen at nearly 34. Houghton again. The long ball. That's searching out Johnny Barnes on the far side. He's free. Barnes, great save. Aldridge. A goal. John Aldridge. Liverpool in front. 4th minute. And the long ball towards John Barnes. Fox, Brian Laws, they got tangled up, 2 defenders in each other's way. And Barnes drove it, brilliant save by Sutton, really unlucky the keeper, but John Aldridge, that's his instinct, that's his forte, and that's the lead for Liverpool. Trevor Brooking.
As it drops down, John Barnes not going, realising he's not going to get there, and suddenly sees him pop up, hits it with his right foot, and really John Aldridge reacted very well because it was behind him and he just looped in.
And John Aldridge, keeping Ian Rush out of the side, scores his 26th goal of the season. This is Barnes. And Forrest are backpedaling. Walker and Wilson are really stretched at the moment because Beardsley is full of movement up there, and they're pulling them one way and then the other, and now Whelan's made a run, and they've got to cover him now, and Wilson gets the head to it. McMahon tucks it inside to Houghton, and then it goes to Whelan, and Houghton again to Aldridge. And they can't get out of their own half, Nottingham Forest. Staunton, Whelan, Houghton, to his right, Beardsley. Just moving around from one red shirt to another. Barnes. Now at last, Forrest break it all up. Tommy Gaynor it was who got a foot in and gets the return from Clough. Robillard thought about coming and went back quickly. It's Gaynor on the ball. McMahon got to him. Gaynor got it back. Barnes helped out. And that's McMahon again. And the crowd warming to every challenge. Really good competitive play. Steve McMahon, as Forest got out of their own half for almost the first time. I've seen some spectators affected by the heat, and it's noticeable how quickly the first aid facilities have been activated. There's Chapman. Oh, McMahon made a mistake, and Clough couldn't quite get there, and Webb had a deflection, and that's got in! It's a goal for Nottingham Forest. Robillard, I think, was deceived by a deflection from Webb's shot, and Forest are level in the 33rd minute. It came from the throw-in, and this was unexpected. Lee Chapman got a McMahon's error, really. It comes back to Webb, he strikes it against the post and over the line. Robillard couldn't grab it, Trevor.
I would have thought Bruce Grobbelaar saw it very late. It came through a lot of legs there, and good strike by Neil Webb. But Liverpool will be a little bit shell-shocked because having played so well to suddenly find themselves level will be very disappointing.
And it's 1-1, and that's put this semi-final into just the sort of perfectly balanced position that you would want as a neutral. Barnes. Barnes crossed, oh, against the bar, Aldridge. This is a bit of magic by John Barnes, and a header by Aldridge and against the bar. Well, there won't be much of that. So, half-time in the FA Cup semi-final. Liverpool won, Kenny Dalglish's team off to a flyer, but Nottingham Forest coming back on 33 minutes. To level things. After that, Liverpool hit the bar. Plenty of activity, plenty of incident. The score's level. It's 30 years since Nottingham Forest actually reached an FA Cup final, 1959. And Brian Clough has never reached one as a player or a manager in some 35 years in the game. 10 minutes gone in the second half. 1-1. And Staunton again beats Tommy Gaynor. This is Barnes. Through the middle, Aldridge chasing. Mistake by Walker. Aldridge, great save Sutton. Aldridge again. Can he pull it back to Beardsley? No, he can't. Corner. Houghton actually would have been a better choice. He was screaming for it, but it's so easy from up here. Sutton takes credit. Good save. How important, we'll see. Here's Nickel. Nichols' cross. Oh, and Sutton had to pour at it. Just got a hand. Staunton. Liverpool turning the screw. And Forest get the ball away, but that long ball through the middle again caught out Des Walker, and John Aldridge got in behind him. Houghton again. Oh, well played. Beardsley couldn't collect. Liverpool are threatening to do damage again. Whelan. Beardsley. Foul. Laws. Well, Steve Sutton is a very busy man just now. McMahon. This is Barnes. What a great cross by John Barnes, headed away by Neil Webb, and the crowd seemed to sense, the Liverpool section that is, that this could be the moment. There are times in matches when Liverpool quite distinctly move up a gear, and this is one of those moments now. Houghton. Barnes again. Houghton. Oh, it's got in! Tommy Gaynor couldn't stop Aldridge getting in, and Liverpool are back in front. Well, quite who that finally went in off, I'm not at all sure, but Tommy Gaynor was very close to it, number 7. Beardsley and Aldridge went in with him. Aldridge will claim it. It's Aldridge's goal. It was almost as though the Liverpool supporters, in that 3 or 4 minutes leading up to the goal, were almost sucking the ball into the net at that Stretford end, you know. And it's very hot to make the sort of recovery runs that some of the Forest players are having to make now, as Liverpool dictate the game. Houghton. Oh, well played. Brilliantly played. Beardsley! From a magic little series of tricks by Ray Houghton on the right-hand side. He was teasing Stuart Pearce first one way, then the other. Then he took on Steve Hodge, pulled it back, and Peter Beardsley will feel that he should have scored. Alan Hansen has the ball. Liverpool have nearly all the possession. And it is so clammy down there, so humid, that Nottingham Forest are, the temperature still up here of 76 Fahrenheit. Nottingham Forest are going to have to gasp for breath, really, as they chase around trying to cut down the space that Liverpool are utilising. They still find their own player, Aldridge. That was beautifully done again. Oh, and that's going to be an own goal, is it? Brian Laws. And Liverpool may now be in the cup final. Aldridge setting the play up with Beardsley. Barnes didn't touch it. Laws certainly did. That's an own goal. And it's 3-1, and those supporters are celebrating the strong possibility now of Liverpool, after all the tribulations of the last 3 weeks, qualifying for the FA Cup final against their Merseyside rivals Everton. On the game, there's absolutely no question that Liverpool deserve to be in the lead that they've got. Good ball by Staunton. Walker. Chapman, Clough, that's better. Walker's through. Des Walker, who's never scored a goal for Nottingham Forest, could have made a name for himself in the semi-final, but so unused is he to being in that position, he spurned the chance. And I would have thought that with that may have gone Forest's last opportunity of staging what would have to be a dramatic recovery. He was clean through, he was onside, but he pushed that one wide of the post. A few disappointed Forest fans will be leaving early. But that's a good little ball by Nigel Clough to Lee Glover. Chapman in the middle. Stoppage time, still Glover. Played by McMahon. And Liverpool are through to the FA Cup final to play their Merseyside rivals Everton. Kenny Dalglish's team with a smile back on their faces and on those of the supporters who were able to come today. The end of a traumatic 3 weeks for them. But they wanted to play, they did play, and they put on an exhibition which was worthy of the club and of the FA Cup semi-final. The double is still a possibility. The bond between these people and Kenny Dalglish has never been stronger than it is now. This is a really great scene. Very meaningful to the players as well.
Kenny, just tell us about your feelings at the final whistle there when you went around the pitch and applauded the fans.
Yeah, well, obviously, they've turned up in 1,000 again for us today. They've been very, very supportive. Obviously, our last fortnight or 3 weeks, there's not been much football played, and they've been there and they've supported us all their life. And for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been trying our best to support them.
Sure. How well did your team play today? Because they looked irresistible.
There's only one team going to win, I think. There was only one team wanting to win, as far as I was concerned. Well, we wanted to win a lot more than they did.
So it'll be an emotional Merseyside final after all. Liverpool versus Everton at Wembley on May the 20th, and you can see the highlights in the next edition of BBC Video World. Well, we now move to Gloucestershire for this year's badminton horse trials. An estimated 220,000 people were in the park on Cross Country Day, enjoying one of the closest competitions in the Whitbread Championship's 40-year history. Most of Great Britain's Olympic squad were well in the running, including Ian Stark on Glen Burnie. The commentators are Lucinda Green and Michael Tucker.
Brilliant. Perhaps not the most tidy, but Ian just sat back, gave the horse time. Brilliant piece of riding.
And here we have Mary Thompson and King Boris. Excellent dressage, lying in 6th place. Not always the fastest horse in a 3-day event, because he's a little bit of a middleweight, carries a little bit of weight. But his tail always goes like that, it's a sort of helicopter propulsion.
Now, which is Ian going to do? And I think he's going straight. Yep. It's on. Beautiful. That's what makes him one of the best riders in the world. Oops. That's the Vicarage V, and that's fast becoming the most influential fence. And what we haven't told you yet is that's not only water, but it's pretty smelly water too. I can tell you that from own experience. Well, now Ian. He has virtually got Nigel Taylor in sight. Now, he's going across the corner. New angle. Poetry in motion. Makes it look so ridiculously easy. What this horse does when he just gets along is tends to get his head low and pull for his rein, and he's just beginning to do that, and that won't make it any easier for Ian, I don't think.
King Boris coming up to the ski jump now. Clear so far. Mary had a bit of trouble here on her last horse earlier today, but looks no problem.
Oh, he's got 30 seconds to get home, so come on, Ian. This could be for the 3rd time in a row, and that's a record. And there you look at his watch, he's got now 15 seconds to get home, the 2nd one with the time, a tremendous performance. And there'll be no one more delighted, but at the same time, no one more unassuming, and he will be delighted with that. Well, there's Master Craftsman coming to the quarry. Well, he wouldn't complain about that.
Meanwhile, Ginny Lang is through the British Horse Society quarry, fences 6 and 7.
Coming to the lake. She's going straight. This is where Beneficial had his problem, but not Master Craftsman. Yeah, beautifully ridden. Just holds him, keeps the impulsion going. And Craftsman looks so much more experienced, so much more at home, finding it easy. And that's got to be very, very good news, not only for Ginny here, but of course for the British team in the European Championships in September.
Angela Tucker and the dressage leader, good value. Approach the first question on this course, the quarry.
Good value at the quarry. Up the steps, takes the
Not a problem for them.
Well, now the Vicarage V, and of course Ginny had a problem here on Beneficial. I'm sure she'll go the corner again. And that's not the problem this time. Beautifully ridden. Well, we've seen all the big names, but we're one short, and there he is, the Olympic champion, Mark Todd, looking as relaxed and as calm as ever. Riding, of course, Rodney Powell's the Irishman. Poor Rodney, he's had such disappointments over the last year, but he injured himself in a nasty fall on a young horse some month ago, and very sportingly gave the ride of Irishman to Mark Todd.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck.
Well, it won't be the first time that Ginny Lang, Ian Stark and Mark Todd have done battle. We've got a fascinating 12 minutes ahead of us.
Neatly jumped, very quick to stop and turn. She's going to go right the long way round. I think that's very sensible. You have to turn right in order to get yourself back into a position to take this fence on. Little orange pegs up there, you don't want to go outside. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, she will kill herself. He just never really seemed to put his head down and look at what he was doing. Oh, and then lost his equilibrium altogether, put a leg down and nearly fell over.
Well, now the ski jump, and this is one of the fences that really has jumped better than people expected. A horse that's been expected an awful lot of. Just a little disappointed. Left a leg there, but it's quite safe. Well, on the way down to the lake, that is the Irishman. He's going straight. What a super picture as he comes. He's going for the deep water. No, look at that. Turns straight into the shallow water. Whatever this man did, he would be an ace at it. I'm quite sure of that. He can turn his hand, and in the evening sunshine, you get a marvellous picture of this lake. It really is one of the best settings in the world. The great thing, the horse has got his ears pricked. They're absolutely as one. Now, what will he dare here? Ooh. Playing safe. But what you notice, rather like Leslie Lowe, he just doesn't waste a centimetre. About 400 metres. We can't see it. And he might just have to take a risk at the last if he's going to do it. 15 seconds left. Now, all the way home.
He's going to
look at that for timing. 5 seconds to spare. And there'll be one very happy lad, Rodney Powell, his decision vindicated to put the Olympic champion on Irishman, and they are the new leaders after Arc Speed and Endurance. What a day.
After the cross-country then, only one show-jumping fence separating those 6 riders. Going in reverse order, Mary Thompson and King Boris went clear to be certain of third place and put the pressure on Ginny Leng, who needed a clear round on Master Craftsman, to stay second. She's clear so far. Here's Raymond Brooks-Ward.
So no room for errors for Ginny. But then she's a very old hand at this game. Well, there have been a couple of rattles so far. She'll be glad to see the end of this, coming to the second last. On Ginny, and just listen to that packed crowd here. Another great performance, show jumping to cap the performance across country yesterday for Ginny Leng, and now, my word, the pressure is on Mark Todd. So, the long, lean Toddy from New Zealand. Well, we said yesterday we've seen the complete horseman, and my word, we do. Double gold medalist in the Olympic Games. Chance ride on Rodney Powell's The Irishman. Only took the ride when Rodney said he simply couldn't compete this year because of a neck injury on Tuesday. And clear inside the time across country yesterday. What a performance. When Rodney rode this horse last year, he had 1 1/4 time falls, but was clear. And Toddy can't afford even that. Oh, that's it. Ginny up. Ginny's up. It is Ginny Leng, once more the winner of the Whitbread Championship with Master Craftsman. Mary Thompson, well done, Mary, moving up into second place with King Boris. And Mark Todd on the Irishman for New Zealand is third.
From Badminton, it's about 30 miles across the Severn Bridge to the Saint Pierre Golf Club near Chepstow. That's the home of the Epsom European Grand Prix, the first event in Britain of the PGA European Tour. It's a match play event, and the defending champion was Bernhard Langer of West Germany, but he went out in the third round, losing 2-1 to fellow Ryder Cup player Ken Brown. Brown then lost to Dennis Dernian in the quarters. Dernian, having a superb season, went on to beat Ireland's Des Smith 4-3, clinching victory with this fine putt on the 15th. In the other semi-final, Seve Ballesteros was in great form, beating Australian Mike Harwood 6-5 on the 13th green. So it was Ballesteros against Dernian. Our commentators are Clive Clarke, Bruce Critchley and Peter Allis, and here's Ballesteros about to play his second shot to the par 5 first.
And those trees on the left-hand side of Seve, you see the green behind Seve, between the trees on the left, that's where the green is, so he can either draw it round the tree, go over the top of the tree, but one thing he doesn't want is a low skimmer. He's boomed it up and over. Looks as if it may have gone a touch. Oh, yeah, where did that land? There it is. Oh, look at this. How'd you like that for an opening start? That's the nearest thing I've seen to an albatross for many a year. That's a 2 on a par 5. And, well, Mr. Dernian now knows what's going on. What a way to start. Well, I just hit 2 wood stone dead at the first and moved to the second. Well, what a superb shot from Ballesteros. 50,000 for the winner, 32 for the runner-up, 18,370 for third, and 14 3/4 for the fourth. 4 iron, Dernian, this for a half. Well, it's over. We're over there. I think this may be a pick up and on to the second. Dernian there in 3, Seve 18 inches from the hole in 2. What a way to start. And there he is. He's given and picked up and onto the second. 1 hole played. Seve 1 up, and Dernian enjoying that beautiful stroke from Ballesteros.
The second hole, 364 yards. Looks fairly straight on the little map there, but in fact you have to play away to the left with your tee shot. There's the trees where that circular line cut across there, that they stick out, and you have to come up this side, probably with an iron club. He's going to try something. And he's found a spot from where he can get a clear shot at the green. A very interesting shot, though. Very few people would have seen that. You know, anyone, they'd have tried a backhanded shot and chopped out sideways, tried to go somewhere, but he saw a spot just 5 or 6 feet from where he was. A 5's got more than an even chance of a half. And in fact, a fair amount of green, because he can just about clear the left-hand bunker, some 20 yards of green. Lovely shot. Brilliant, and he'd have settled to be there in 3 where he found his tee shot.
The slope down to this green is quite severe. It probably doesn't show on the screen quite as much, but although it is rolling down, always played it well. You see how difficult it is, the slope, taking it away. He couldn't have really played it very much better.
Good shot. And in fact, he hasn't dropped a shot from the opening hole in his first match. He had a 6 at the first against Mike Clayton. It's all been birdies and pars and eagles since then. This for a 4. Second hole. Got it. Yes. And how many people would make 4 when they put their tee shot right underneath a tree? And where it might have been all square.
Wins the hole in 4. Ballesteros 2 up.
Well, the third hole, 135 yards, par 3, and the green hidden from the tee. It's just some 6, 7 feet, 8, maybe a bit more than that up in the air. And you see the 3 bunkers round and about, 1 big tree at the back. So Seve's playing an 8. Pretty jolly good. Started with an eagle. Got a great fighting par 4 at the last hole. He's got to get this close. 8 iron. Got through it nicely. Yes, well done. That's more like it. 2 good tee shots. Dernian to putt first. Now, what a crucial moment for Dernian. He must be thinking, well, I've got to hole this. It's no good. I don't think, if I manage to throw a par at Seve, I don't think he's going to crumble. No. Might be aiming this just at the right edge of the hole, the way Dernian's putt ran from the other side. But yes, he's putted outside and just, oh, there it is, you see, 6, 7 footer. So he starts eagle, par, birdie, 3 up, and going about his business in a very stern fashion.
Seve once again in top form, winning the first 3 holes. He also won the 4th, and that's how it stayed to the turn. Then Dernian won the 10th. Let's rejoin them now at the par 3 11th, where Ballesteros has to play his second shot out of a bunker.
And Dennis Dernian hanging on manfully, and with a chance here, I suppose, unless Seve, of course, plays one of his magical bunker shots. Looks easy enough, flat bunker. Chops the club underneath and probably holds it. Boom. just ran on a little bit more than he would have liked, but a very nicely played shot. Dennis Dernian lining up his putt, caddy at the flag. Quite a longish putt, must be 12, 14 yards, I suppose. Well, I thought that was going to need to be hit much more to the right, but he knew the line. Almost got it absolutely right, conceded. And Seve with a putt to hold for a half. Well, made it look very easy. Up and down in two out of the sand. No real respite for Dernian. Seve 3 up and on to the 12th.
Proud now. Seve, and I wouldn't be surprised that didn't touch the side of the hole. And so many shots like this he's hit over the last 3 or 4 days that they almost appear commonplace. There's a graphic of this dogleg 14th hole of 454 yards. The lake on the left, not part of the course, doesn't come into play because you're playing away from it. That didn't move as much from left to right as he thought, or in fact I thought. But the weight was spot on. There's chances, chances. Oh! Well, a very good putt. Doesn't miss many. And 4 up again, 4 holes left. The 15th hole, 412 yards. It's a little movement round the corner left to right, perhaps not quite as sharp an angle as it would appear. Well, I think he'd be happy with the middle of the green, probably. Never all that far away if you're in the middle of the green. If you're in the hole, it's even better. Well, he started by almost getting an albatross 2 on the 576-yard first hole, and it looks as if he's finished the match here on the 15th. He's 4 up, 4 to play, and that nearly went in the hole for 2, and it's finished only about, well, 16, 18 inches away. A bit too shy, and I think as soon as Dennis comes up and sees how near Seve's ball is to the flag, it'll be handshakes all round. Really was a very fine shot from the rough for Seve, and he's gone through the week with only 2 dropped strokes to par. The very first hole he played, he took 6 on the par 5 first, and he missed a little putt a couple of holes back. Apart from that, it's been eagles and birdies all the way, and he's given the crowds here at St. Pierre a rare treat, and it's been a delight to see. Lovely weather, early days for the golf season, the first event on the British Tour, of course, in very good shape, really, and a worthy winner, most charismatic golfer in the world today. We'll scamper up to have a look, and I don't think it'll be too long before. Well, he's marking it, but I don't think there's much doubt that Ballesteros has won as Epsom match play event. See, I think he's saying, well, what's happening? Perhaps he didn't quite see how close Seve was. He's good. Seve says, I wouldn't this, Matt, you can pick yours up. Thank you very much. You've got 32,000 quid to go home with. And Dennis will be very pleased with that. That's very good. Seve now saying, you keep that going. We may see you in the Ryder Cup team at the Belfry at the end of the year. Dernian came through the stiffest part of the field, beat Roger Davis, Rivera, Mark James, Des Smith,
But at the end of the day, Ballesteros really was in superb form and shows just why he is, in many people's eyes, certainly the best player in the world.
Now for our play, A Master of the Marionettes.